When Caitríona Balfe finally addressed the swirling rumors about Sam Heughan and Elizabeth Hurley, no one expected her to deliver a straight answer. And she didn't. Instead, the Outlander star, usually poised and careful with her words, chose to respond in a way that was equal parts cryptic, playful, and devastatingly effective. In doing so, she gave fans exactly what they didn't know they wanted: confirmation without clarity, a statement that left the world guessing and set the rumor mill ablaze. It happened during a recent interview when Caitríona was pressed about the sudden headlines linking Sam to Elizabeth Hurley after their joint appearance on BBC's The One Show. The interviewer asked the question directly: "What do you think of these rumors about Sam and Liz Hurley?" For a moment, Caitríona smiled, tilting her head the way she often does when she's about to deflect. But instead of denying or laughing it off, she leaned in and said softly, "Sam is always full of surprises. Let's just say Liz is a wonderful woman." And with that, the internet exploded. The brilliance of Caitríona's response lay in its ambiguity. She never said Sam and Liz were together. She never said they weren't. What she did do was plant a seed, a suggestion that could be interpreted any number of ways. To tabloids hungry for a headline, this was all they needed. Within hours, articles blared: Caitríona Balfe confirms Heughan-Hurley romance. Entertainment blogs dissected her words, looping her short comment on repeat as though decoding a secret code. Even the pause before she spoke, the faint smirk on her lips, became evidence that she knew something the world didn't. For fans, the reaction was instant and divided. Those who had been shipping Sam with Liz since their BBC photo went viral now had their smoking gun. Screenshots of Caitríona's quote were shared across Twitter and Instagram with captions like, "If Caitríona says it, it must be true." Others, more skeptical, insisted that her words were classic Caitríona humor, a way of dodging the question without throwing her co-star under the bus. She was being cheeky, not serious, one fan argued. People need to stop twisting her words. But in the age of soundbites and viral clips, nuance rarely survives. Caitríona's playful remark became the story, whether she intended it or not. For someone who has spent nearly a decade fielding questions about her own alleged relationship with Sam, the irony was rich. Time and again, she and Sam had denied rumors that they were more than friends. Yet now, when asked about Liz Hurley, Caitríona gave an answer so ambiguous it felt like she was feeding the very machine she once fought against. Some observers speculated that Caitríona's response was a deliberate strategy. By neither confirming nor denying, she allowed the press to spin the story while keeping her hands clean. Others wondered if it was simply fatigue, a moment of letting her guard down after years of careful answers. Whatever the motivation, the effect was the same: she had poured gasoline on an already burning fire. Hollywood thrives on moments like this. A half smile, a cryptic phrase, a refusal to give clarity. These are the raw materials of scandal. And Caitríona delivered them with masterful subtlety. Her remark framed Sam as unpredictable, Liz as admirable, and herself as the insider holding the keys to a secret the world was desperate to uncover. In truth, the actual reality may be far more mundane. Elizabeth Hurley remains happily attached to Billy Ray Cyrus, with whom she recently celebrated his birthday in Scotland. Sam, as always, keeps his private life hidden. There may be no romance at all, just two celebrities caught in a media storm of their own charisma. But Caitríona's words blurred that line so effectively that reality no longer mattered. The fallout was immediate. Talk shows replayed the clip of Caitríona's comment. Tabloids plastered it across their front pages. Fandom forums lit up with speculation, some users convinced that Caitríona had slipped and revealed the truth, others arguing she was trolling the media. In every interpretation, though, one thing was clear: Caitríona's playful ambiguity had just given the rumor more life than any outright confirmation ever could. By choosing her words so carefully, and yet so provocatively, Caitríona Balfe didn't just answer a question. She created a spectacle, and in Hollywood, spectacle is everything. The ripple effect of Caitríona Balfe's ambiguous remark was unlike anything Hollywood had seen in recent months. Within hours of her interview airing, Clips were circulating across Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram, each captioned with bold declarations. Caitríona confirms the Sam and Liz rumors. In truth, she had done nothing of the sort. But her playful ambiguity, that careful dance of not saying yes, not saying no, was all it took to turn speculation into scandal. Fans were divided straight down the middle. On one side were the believers, those who had been captivated by Sam and Liz's photo together on BBC's The One Show. To them, Caitríona's words were the missing puzzle piece. "She knows Sam better than anyone," one fan tweeted. "If she says Liz is a wonderful woman, that's confirmation enough." Others flooded Liz Hurley's Instagram with comments like, "So happy for you and Sam," and "This is the couple we never knew we needed." But the skeptics were just as loud. They argued that Caitríona had been deliberately cheeky, using humor to dodge a question she didn't want to answer. "She didn't confirm anything," one fan insisted. "This is Caitríona being Caitríona, playful, sarcastic, and smarter than the tabloids." Yet even these voices admitted that her choice of words was dangerous. By calling Liz a wonderful woman, and refusing to shut the door on the rumor, Caitríona had allowed the flames to spread unchecked. The tabloids, of course, wasted no time. Within 24 hours, headlines screamed across glossy covers. "Balfe breaks silence. Confirms Heughan-Hurley romance." Entertainment blogs spliced her quote into dramatic montages, pairing it with slow-motion shots of Sam and Liz on the BBC sofa, analyzing every smile, every shared glance. Paparazzi photos of Liz with Billy Ray Cyrus were pushed aside in favor of images that fit the narrative. Liz and Sam, glowing side by side. It was a masterclass in how media spins ambiguity into certainty. Caitríona never confirmed a romance, but she didn't deny it either, and in Hollywood, silence or subtlety often speaks louder than truth. For Sam Heughan, the renewed speculation was suffocatingly familiar. For years, his personal life has been the subject of endless theories, his reluctance to go public with partners only feeding the frenzy. Now, thanks to Caitríona's comment, he was once again framed as the mysterious bachelor with a secret relationship. The irony, of course, was that Sam hadn't said a word. His silence, paired with Caitríona's cryptic statement, became proof in the eyes of fans that something must be happening. Elizabeth Hurley, too, found herself under renewed scrutiny. Though she had been publicly celebrating her relationship with Billy Ray Cyrus, posting romantic photos, gushing about their bond, the narrative shifted overnight. Paparazzi began hounding her for quotes about Sam, while gossip sites speculated on whether she was juggling two high-profile men. The absurdity of the claim didn't matter. What mattered was the drama, the clicks, the whispers. Caught in the middle, Caitríona became the unlikely puppet master of the entire scandal. Her words, whether intended or not, had given the press exactly what they craved. A gray area, a mystery, a story too tantalizing to resist. By refusing to give clarity, she had fueled a fire that burned hotter than any outright confirmation ever could. The emotional cost, however, was undeniable. Fans who had once united around their shared love of Outlander now fought bitterly online, accusing each other of spreading lies or refusing to see the truth. Liz's genuine relationship with Billy Ray was overshadowed by rumors she never invited. And Sam, the man at the center of it all, was once again trapped in a cycle where every smile, every compliment, every Instagram comment became potential evidence of a romance the world was desperate to believe in. Hollywood thrives on these moments. The industry doesn't need facts, it needs stories. And Caitríona's ambiguous confirmation offered the perfect narrative. A love triangle of icons, a mysterious Scotsman, a glamorous English actress, and a co-star who seemed to hold all the secrets. It was juicy, messy, and irresistible. In the end, what Caitríona confirmed wasn't romance, it was the machinery of fame itself. She showed, perhaps unintentionally, how a single cryptic remark can launch a global scandal. She proved that in the world of Hollywood, perception is more powerful than truth, and that ambiguity is often the most dangerous answer of all. As the dust settled, one fact became clear. Fans didn't really care whether Sam and Liz were together. What they cared about was the drama, the thrill of speculation, the fantasy of a story that blurred the lines between reality and fiction. Caitríona had given them just enough to keep the fantasy alive. And in Hollywood, sometimes that's all it takes.